And we are back to our segment for today, Randomly Liz podcast. And we wanted to get into this. But before we get into the questions Q&A session, we wanted to find out maybe if this is going to reach YouTube or maybe on your For You page, we'd like to know what was your experience? Did your man cheat while you were pregnant, or was it just the few people that I know of? How supportive was your man, or how non supportive was your man during the pregnancy and birth period? Was he attending the prenatal appointments? Was he coming to you with you to for maybe baby checkups during the ultrasound, the first ultrasound? Was he available during birth? Was he available? Was he there for with you or for you when you are doing the baby shopping? Was he excited about it? Did he help you while you were nesting? Was he washing the clothes, ironing them, helping you to set up the nursery? Because that is also exciting. I mean, so did he help you with the bed, the baby's bed, the baby bassinet, or whatever it is that you had for your baby, the baby's room? I'd like to know what your experience was. Um, After birth is usually the most difficult because for every woman you have this stranger, and as we had said initially that parenting doesn't come with a manual. You don't know what you're supposed to do. And for this I want to thank our African mothers because for most communities the mothers actually come through. Your mother will leave her home, she will come to you. I can attest that my mom, the first almost a year or less, I think first 5 months, she will dead she will literally pass through my home on her way home every day in the evening after she comes from work. So she will just pass by. She would come with food. She would ensure that my cousin, because the father was not around, so she would ensure that my cousin would wake up very early in the morning and come home to check on me. So my cousin would come, is the one who would actually prepare me tea. And I can remember I used to have tea, bread, and eggs. It was a constant every morning, and he used to help a lot with that. So my mother ensured that I had someone with me through the first 5 months after birth. There are seasons when I was alone, but I can remember for the most part I had someone with me. And my mother, oh, thank God for that woman. During that part, I experienced the kind of woman or the kind of mother I had on a different level. She would always show up, and she would ensure that over the weekends, if I was not at my place, she would always call me, kuja nyumbani, kuja kuna kuku. And of course mi nikisikia kuku nayo so I want to say I'm very thankful for that. So I'd like to know your experiences. So African mothers will be listening to this, thank you, and I hope even us, we carry that to our children and our children's wives, that if they once they have babies, it doesn't have to be that the house help is the one who is there. Someone familiar should always be there, because in as much as your baby needs someone to take care of them, you also need someone to take care of you. Yeah, you actually need someone to. That question alone, how did you sleep? Did you even manage to sleep? Is so important. Why is your mental state? That is a very important question to ask a woman at that point, because most of us are zoning out. You haven't slept. You've showered because the baby needs it. And at that point is where you find men are being disgusted because you have breast milk all over your shirt. You didn't even know it was coming out sometimes. And sometimes you've not even had a chance to go and shower. You're smelling of
milk,
baby's milk.
so
Your boobs are full of milk. So you're literally you're literally out there. Your boobs are so big at that point because milk is everywhere. You don't even want to put on a bra. I don't. Did you have bra during this time?
no, kwanza inakufinya.
Yeah.
It's so tight because of the milk. The size of your boobs. Yeah, so it's kind of hectic. That moment was just hectic on asthma. So if you have any different experience apart from us, you can hit us up and maybe
Let
share
us
your
know.
thoughts. Yeah.
So we can know there are other human
Yeah.
men outside here.
Because our experience is different with yours, the viewers.
Yeah, mine was horrible at the beginning, but family always come through. Sometimes family is important.
Mine, I didn't have anyone, so you can imagine how it was.
You didn't have anyone coming to check on you?
No, it was no. I
So
didn't
how
have.
did you do it? Because I fear there's a lady that I used to live next to. That is the moment she actually gained a lot of weight. She told me that she had pressure.
I didn't have anyone. So that I think that's what postpartum depression they eat nocturne. So there was
Yeah.
no one. And those are the kind of things, if I think of them right now, I don't want to get another child anytime soon.
And where was the father of the kid? Were you living together at that time?
Yeah.
Because I feel if you're living together, you'll be in a better position to get support, because literally he'll come home every evening. Uh-huh. Did you have instances when he'd come home in the evening and help? Ama alikuwa job? What was the situation?
I can't remember where he was.
But you were just alone.
I can't remember. Can we?
You can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember.
There's something with our brains when we don't want to remember something. It's because something terrible has happened to you. You shift it at the back
so
of your
I can't
head.
remember. All I remember is I was alone. Yeah,
And it was a tough stage.
it was a tough stage.
Yeah.
And I thank God after that I got a job, a distraction. So I got a house help. So now the house help came.
We thank God for our house help. Some of
Yes.
them are good, but we thank God for our house help. Sometimes they really do help.
Yeah, they
It
really
helps
do
to have
help.
someone, even if you're paying them to be there. But it would be better if someone that you don't have to pay for, someone that is connected to the baby as much as you're connected, someone that actually feels what you're feeling was there. But anyway, our parents allowed some of these things that we are living right now. Our parents showed us how to be up on the third day after having a baby. Our parents showed us to tie the baby on your back, to go to the river, to fetch water, to wash clothes, and to cater for your husband on the third day. Some even on the first day, because you've had the baby. Why are you lazing around? What's stopping you from catering to your man? Yeah? Why would you be so lazy? Why are you sleeping? The baby's out. Is there anything else you're experiencing that's unusual? Periods are normal. You are wearing a pad, of course, at that time, but what would stop you from catering for your man at that point? So our parents condoned these things. And some of these males that we are dealing with were not taught differently. Actually, most male have not been taught what they're supposed to do to women. But 90% of us, or all of us women, have always been told what we're supposed to do to keep a man or to make a man happy
Yeah, cook for her.
for him. But how
for
do we
him,
make them happy? How do they make us happy? They were never taught that. So I don't know. Train your dog sometimes, but sometimes it's hard. So okay, maybe some of these questions, some of these answers you're going to get through this Q&A. So for us to change the atmosphere, let's go to the random bag. If you can see it. I'm excited about this. I hope it will change the entire atmosphere. So maybe you can pick one. I'll read it so you don't cheat or lie. Okay. It has to be it. Okay.
It has to be.
It had to be this one. Okay. What's your earliest childhood memory? Lencer Odero. Good or bad?
I can remember when my mom left.
Left for somewhere or left as in died?
Left me.
Left?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I remember.
Okay.
He left me at the window, and I remember crying.
At the window? What do you mean at the window?
Like amenisimamisha hapo kwa window karibu na kitanda, so probably anajua naweza anguka chini na nilale, like sitaumia but niko hapo so that when she's coming the other way around she can say bye, like anaweza niona akisema bye na aende. So that's what I remember, and I remember crying, ma usiende, don't go.
Did you know she was not going to come back?
I didn't know, and she never came back until until now. So that's what I remember. So I just remember the picture.
How old were you by then?
I was young, so young. I was young. I was 2 years. I just remember the activity that, as a child you have sharp memory as a child.
Yeah, true.
If someone does something for you as a child, you always remember
Something bad, especially.
Yeah, something bad.
Yeah.
So what I remembered is I was niliekwa kwa dirisha and I was crying, because if you're a child utaki mama yako akuache.
Yeah, true.
like you are always like mami usiniache. So I thought it was just like any other day, yeah. Anaenda anarudi,
Oh, yeah.
anaenda anarudi. So normal day like ntalia, but eventually atarudi.
Yeah.
So I just remember her leaving me there, and I was crying, and just remember her doing bye, and she never came. Yeah, so yeah.
How did that affect you? Do you think, did you ever feel at any point that you are the reason why she left?
I don't think if I had that brain at that moment.
No, as you grow up, I mean, as you grow up.
Until now, I've never understood why she had to live like that, and why she never came back, because I was young and I was a girl, vulnerable. Like, for me, I cannot even leave my son like that.
But
I have never had like answers to that. Yes.
I,
But
I
maybe
don't
she
know.
had reasons.
Obviously, she had reasons.
Yeah, she had
Have you ever
reasons.
thought that maybe she was putting you on by the window so that when she can come around and pick you up, but then when she got there, maybe she saw someone that stopped her from, or she saw someone and said, maybe if I take the kid, they'll know I'm not coming back. And so she did not come for you. Ever thought of it from that point?
No.
Because I don't see any reason why someone would put you in the window if they're not coming round to pick you up.
I never thought of that. I never thought of that. All I know, she left me. And after leaving, I went through so much. So, yeah, that's all I remember.
So the beginning of the problem started after the mom left. So that is your earliest childhood experience,
Yeah,
memory, sorry.
yeah.
So at this point, I don't know what I can comment on that, but to some extent, I always have this thing on my head, this debate on my head. Is it better if the mom leaves, or is it better if the dad leaves? It's a constant battle on my head, because I'm trying to figure out, if this person leaves, which one will I be safer with? For some people, I see it's the mother. For some people, I see if it's the father. But I'm just asking, if the worst come to shove, you as a viewer, who would you prefer at least you have on your side? Who do you think that would understand you better, would take care of you better? I know that we need two parents on our side. We need both of them for both mental and emotional growth. But what if it had to be a point where you had to make a decision? We can't pretend this is not happening. Even with the divorces, even with married couples, the divorces comes in, you have to fight for custody. With single parents, most of them right now, you have to decide, you have to fight for custody again. Even with people who are pregnant right now and happy, you just have to think, and you know that this is something that that may catch up to you. So what do you think as a viewer? Who would you rather to stay? I don't know what my opinion would be, but I don't know. I would say
I think for me, I would rather both parents to stay.
no, but if you
because
had to, if there was no,
If-
like, the world was ending and you're told you have to remain only with one parent.
if I had to, I would choose my mom to stay, because as you grow up as a child, you need a mother's love. Like, okay, a dad is also important,
Yeah.
but you need a mother's love. When you lack a mother's love, the world is so cruel and harsh, because you don't understand how it feels to go back. You see, when I was in high school, I remember when we were closing, so people wanasema a story like, oh, I can't wait to go home, naenda kupata mama amenipikia kuku, hiyo siku the dinner is going to, mama anaenda kutupikia chakula mzuri. But you're there, you're like, I wish you had your mom mwenye amefurahi umetoka home, amechukua kuku ingine pale asha, mtoto wangu amerudi sijui. But you know, those experiences, you miss those memories. As you know, as a child, we live for memories. We live for great memories.
Yeah.
And only mothers can give those memories. Dads are always busy. Mwanaume ako busy kutengeneza pesa, ako busy kuinvest. But mothers are, these people are family oriented people. So I'll really choose mothers and not the other way around.
Yeah, most men are unfortunately emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
So from a young age, as they grow up, you'd see a girl would be so keen into details, such as, is the house clean? Was this food? What have you put inside it? But the man would eat the food and not even care. As a kid, you've eaten. As a boy, you've eaten and you don't even care. The more they grow up, women are so keen into details, and then women exercise empathy towards the other gender, both the male and the female. If you had like a 5-year-old girl with let's say a 7-year-old brother, who didn't have parents, you would notice most of the time it's the girl holding the boy's hand, not the other way around. It's not usually the boy holding the other. Like even there were two kids that were found in Nairobi walking solo today. One, they were both young, almost at the same age, but you could see the girl felt like she needed to protect the boy. So it was her hands on top of the boy. So usually women feel like they are
They need to-
caretakers.
they're
Yeah,
caretakers.
they are natural
Yeah,
caretakers.
caretakers.
So yeah, so I don't know. I feel like for me, if I had to choose two, probably I'd go with mom too, because me, I already have that experience. And I
Yeah.
was in high school, I'd see people with fathers whose fathers just used to come with gazette. So if I had to reference that, maybe I'd choose the hot pot. I'd choose the hot pot over the gazette. I'm sorry, because this is my eating chapati next to me. And me and you have gazette. I'm looking at you like Baba Nani. You anaenda kufanya nayo nini?
Amekuja na gazeti.
Amekuja na
Ametoka na
gazeti
kazi.
all the way from
Imagine,
Nairobi.
not even cakes or sweets
Ish.
or what.
Hey.
But you know, your mom will atakumbuka. Oh, let me buy for my son mandazi, or let me buy something
from
French
from the previous day. She will start
Yeah,
budgeting on that
budgeting.
day. Yeah. Atapika and even if she didn't have, I have a mother who didn't have. But I know she used to ask. From that, mtoto wangu visiting inakuja, I need to at least nipike chapati. She just had to carry
Yeah.
something, unaona, though she didn't have.
Mothers
So
are thoughtful.
mothers think in that direction. So we thank you. So based on food alone, I'd choose mom. I'm sorry.
Based on food.
Yeah.
But fathers are also important.
Wow, fathers are important.
very
yes.
much important.
I've said based on food.
Yeah. More so to a girl child, fathers are also important.
At a
but-
certain age, from a certain age.
Yeah, at a certain. But as a kid, mothers.
So, men, try and be in your children's life. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next, you can pick the next question. Oh, this is saying, Lencer, what is a common misconception that people have about you?
Here people have like. Let me. Can I say one or two or three or?
Hey, what is the most common one?
So the most common one is that mimi ni mkali.
Are you?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah, mimi ni mkali.
So it's
Then-
not a misconception.
Okay.
Is it
No,
true?
no, I'm not. No. It's a misconception because everyone is mkali when they when they are hurt. Like people react differently when they're hurt. So the way I'm gonna react to whatever you've done to me is going to be different. So maybe the way I react over whatever somebody has done to me is way higher than any other person. But I'm a very, the people who have been close to me, maybe they can just say, wow, they see me, but for me, no, mi si mkali. And again, another misconception is me naringa and I have an attitude. Yeah. So I don't know if it's true, but it's a misconception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those who know her can tell us
Yeah.
if you are with her in high school or something or somewhere.
Yeah, you can
or
say.
working.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So,
But the mkali part also helps because
yeah, sometimes it's good to
yeah,
have
it
your
helps.
walls.
Yeah, it helps.
People break them
You
easily.
set the boundaries.
True.
You're not a joker. It helps.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a good thing and it's
It's a bad thing. Yeah, because you can stop good people.
Yeah.
Like sponsors.
Exactly. Yeah, straight face.